grab your cup. There's a saying that everybody knows that is not true. I was going to say I think it's not true, but I know it's not true. And if you believe it and you live by that, you're really missing out on the opportunity to create something great for your life. So here's the saying: time heals all wounds. You've heard that, right? Time heals all wounds. So if you've had stuff that happened and you're like, yeah, that was in the past. It was so long ago, I'm over it. Enough time has gone by. Then something happens and that wound shows up as hurtfully, as painfully, as vibrantly, as deeply, probably as the initial time, the initial event when that wound was created. I'm going to give you a couple of examples. But if you're like an athlete and you have an old football injury or an old something injury, you might experience this in your physical body, right? Like, oh, I had this knee injury back when I was 20. Now I'm 50, and most of the time my knee is fine, but every so often I step in a certain way or I go down the stairs and that knee really grabs me, right? It's like that. So the wounding that I'm talking about when we say time heals all wounds are things in our body that we hold that if we don't do the work, see, it takes an effort and some particular intention and focus and work to heal many of the wounds that we have. Time does not do it. So I'm talking about things like, let's just say when you were growing up, your dad had a way of correcting you, a way of parenting you. And when he did it, maybe he just gave you the silent treatment, so you knew you messed up. Maybe he yelled at you. Maybe he would very calmly say, I've taught you better. You really messed up this time. Something like that. Whatever his style was. But whatever his style was, there was a time when it was really painful for you, when you decided he doesn't love me or something like that. Now, you're 50 years old and you actually know your dad did love you. You actually know, he was parenting you now that you're a grown up, but you're with your partner and your partner does something that feels the same. Either doesn't talk to you because that's how they let you know you messed up, or they yell at you. And in that moment, that initial time when you were really hurt and you thought to yourself, my dad doesn't love me, the same feeling is back in your body. Now you're saying to yourself, my partner doesn't love me. That's an example of a wound that got a little bit scarred over, but was still there, is still, causing problems in your life. Time did not make it go away, really, to any degree at all, because anytime there's a conflict, and we have conflicts, anytime there's a conflict, you feel that way again. So that's one kind of wound that does not go away with time. You've got to do what it takes to actually heal through that, so you can show up, hear what your partner has to say, and not be back in that defensive, hurt, deciding there's something terrible in our relationship, we probably need to break up because he doesn't love me or she doesn't love me, like that, okay? Another aspect of this is, let's just say you go through a breakup or a loss, but I'm gonna say a breakup. I think it's more pertinent. And people say to you, time heals all wounds, you're gonna get over it, and years have gone by. I've talked to people on the phone. I talk to people all the time who reach out to me and decide if they want to do the work together that we do. And in those conversations, I learn a lot about people's lives and what it is that they're looking to overcome. And it's not rare that people will say, this happened, I got divorced 5 years ago, 8 years ago, and I'm still really angry, I'm still upset. People think that as time goes by, it's going to get easier. But here's the thing, time does not heal all wounds. You have to be intentional, focused, and willing to do what it takes to heal the wound for yourself. So in that kind of example, it's things like forgiveness, maybe for yourself, maybe for them, maybe for both of you. It's what do I need to own about how I was in the relationship? We maybe aren't consciously thinking that. We're maybe really clear it was all their fault and who they were, but there's a place where we know there were choices that I made that I need to own. What I did, what I didn't do. That's doing the work of intentionally healing, because if you don't do that and you stay in a place of blame and anger, or you stay in a place of really stuck in the energy of the breakup. That's the other thing, is when we have a relationship and we're really connected, there's an energetic bond. And if you have children with anyone, you have an energetic bond with them. That bond never goes away. You created a human being with that person, right? So if you don't do what it takes to change that energetic bond, it keeps you pulled like a noose on your neck, and it shows up in other relationships. It might be 10 years ago was your divorce, and you're still thinking, will I ever get a relationship that's great? You won't if you haven't healed those wounds. You just won't. It's not because there aren't great people out there. It's not even because maybe you're not finding them. They might be right in front of you, but your wounds are not healed. And so they're going to keep being there and block you from creating the next great relationship. Do you get what I'm saying? So time heals all wounds. Maybe there are some wounds that time heals, but for the most part, it's up to us. It's our responsibility to take each and every experience, to understand the impact that it has, and then to do what we need to do to put it to rest fully and completely. It doesn't go away. It's not like you forget that it ever happened, but to put it to rest, to heal it yourself. That's the healing work. It's up to you. It's up to us, each one of us, to do that in our own lives, or not. You get to choose not if you don't want to. If you're like, I don't want to look at things, I don't want to open that up, fine. Just know the healing does not happen. It doesn't. So you get to the end of your life, I don't care how long time is, you get to the end of your life and that's still a wound and you still suffered from it. If you're tired of suffering from your wounds, drop me a comment. Make it be wounds. Then I know that you want more information. I'm gonna share with you a masterclass that I've done on this. I'll share with you an opportunity to get on the phone with me. It's a free call. But if you're tired of living from your wounds and you want to heal that so that you can have a completely different experience, that's the work that we do. And it's the work that you need to do. Whether you do it with me or you do it in some other way is fine. That's up to you. I don't invite everybody that I speak with to work with me. I have to decide that, it's a good fit for my program and my group anyway. So whether we end up working together or not, it's on you to figure out, how do I heal my wounds? If you want to do that, okay? So drop me a comment. I'd be thrilled to talk to you and hear what it is that you want to overcome in your life. Have a good day.